we continue to reflect on the 7 last words of Jesus from the cross. The 5th word, I thirst. In the Gospel according to St. John, chapter 19, verse 28, after this, when Jesus knew that all was now finished, he said in order to fulfill the scripture, I thirst. A jar full of sour wine was standing there. So they put a sponge full of the wine on a branch of hyssop and held it to his mouth. Jesus has undergone the brutal torture of the scourging, the crowning with thorns. He has carried the cross and now he is nailed to the cross. He has lost a lot of blood. Anyone who has undergone an operation can identify to some extent with the intense thirst that Jesus may have felt on the cross. When a person is wheeled out of the operation theatre, it is then that he feels the pangs of thirst, and the doctors do not permit the person to drink water for quite some time after the operation. Jesus' body was drained of almost all of his blood, and that is why he thirsted. But was this only a physical thirst? The Gospel writer John mentions this aspect, the fact that Jesus thirsted, for various reasons. One of the reasons is that there was a certain group of people known as the Gnostics who thought that Jesus was only divine, that he did not have a physical body as such. He merely appeared to possess a body, very much like a ghost. They would even go to the extent to say that when Jesus walked on the shore, there would be no footprints. To such people, to silence this heresy, John shows that Jesus is fully divine as well as fully human. He felt the pangs of thirst. The other level that John explores is the spiritual level. Jesus thirsts for our faith. God had said through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 13, My people have committed 2 evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living water, and dug out cisterns for themselves, broken cisterns that can hold no water. The people of Palestine used to dig out cisterns which were underground chambers that would store the rainwater that could be used during the dry periods. We carve out securities for ourselves in the things of this world, not knowing that drinking salt water can make one only more and more thirsty, while we have forsaken or forgotten the fount of living water. Jesus said in the Gospel according to St. John, chapter 7, verse 37 to 39, that if anyone thirsts, let him come to me and drink. And as the scripture says, fount of living water will flow from the belly of the believer. Jesus asked the woman at Samaria, the woman of Samaria at the side of the well, give me a drink. He thirsted for her faith. And now from the cross, he thirsts for the faith of the millions of humankind, all those who do not know him as yet. He knew that he would die for each and every person on the face of the earth. God's will to create, God's will to save is as great as His will to create. 1 Timothy chapter 2 verses 4 onward says that God wills that all mankind be saved and to come to a knowledge of the truth. There's an incident in the Old Testament when David had a strong craving and he said, "Oh, that someone would give me a drink from the cistern that is near the gate of Bethlehem." 2 Samuel 23 verse 15. David, an earthly king, thirsts for water, and his 3 warriors, his personal bodyguards, risk their lives, enter into enemy territory because the Philistines were in hold of Bethlehem, in charge of Bethlehem, and risking their lives they bring that drink of water for David. Our heavenly King, the King of Kings, thirsts for souls. He thirsts for our faith. He thirsts for us to have a living relationship with Him. And through us, He wants to quench the thirst of others as well. This word shows the dual thirst. The Creator thirsts for His creation, and creation as well, the creature thirsts for the Creator. St. Augustine said, "Our hearts are made for you, Lord, and they are restless. They will never find rest until they rest in you." Would we allow the Creator to bond and to build a relationship with us, a living relationship? And would we, as we are nourished by His faith, step out of the comfort zone of our lives and share our faith with others? Pope John Paul II said, "Faith is strengthened when it is shared." Thank you.